Amahoro bengi ya mwanchi umurigere rwegeta seni kya Ndizi TV na bo bwansu bwo mogusi ekerorere ritkoreri ya Jumanne kitariki 12 cy'omutyenyi ogatano na kabere umwaka no w'echi bibere na meronko ebere nebere ekerabona atigaira amatko emeronko ebere na 5 na biroka eriense ya Kenya goswase obochore obonene bwo umwaka yega bw'echi bibere na meronko ebere nebere neritko boigo aborokiwa imense ya Kenya baba kwirana ase chiskuru ase etamu ya kabere korengana ne kalenda ya masomo Chinga kichingiye kero yaragirense ya moya bono mogoroba ekerongo kwarigani nkomanye nara yaya na kwariganire kurwa semesa ya maya yense ya moya bono mogoroba korenderi tanganike gimatiga na kumanye nara yaya are egati ya sari ngwariganire tie
I am going to be a good deputy, not a co-president.
Koreri obuyamu no mokonyi bomurayi wense ya Kenya na mangana ya Martha Karua.
We have laid the foundation stone for the second phase of the classes that are here.
Umuwaziri w'ekisemi Professor George Magoha kobeka rigena ryoboroso asobwaga kibwebirasi eskuru ya Sironga. Abamenyi korwase wadi ya Kisi Central korobeka na wekase chiobisi chekiombekya IEBC. Omanchi omurigere ya yamuna na manke ngo kwariganiye nkumanyie amuna kwariganire tia senchera ere yobwekeranu ekerongo kwenyore buna nabo kwendera gutobwate ya sense media ya YouTube wetra Ndizi TV News nabo igo asumutanda Twitter nabo gotonyora wetra @Ndizi TV News ere togendere go kumanyia manke kabana nchoiko mairio ere tariane Evelyn Osero togo chaka ama yeyense yemoni gotoko ya chaka korwase county ya Nyamira awase umuwaziri w'ekisemi Professor George Magoha itukulya lero abagawikirana ase skuru ya secondary y'abanyaruka ya Sironga iyo gotoka imeye west ya ebunge ya West Mugrango asaba agakobeka lige na ryoboroso asobwagachi webirasi bya CBC munenchira yemo yo gochegusira umuroberio OCBC ase eskure ya Sironga orobati orwasenchira engikiranu korwase county ya Nyamira ni gotwariganire n'umuri cyoito Job Manki
asetaro yaye ime county ya Nyamira umuwaziri w'ekisemi Professor Magoha naigora ebirasi bya CBC na kubeka lige na ryoboroso ase ebirasi ebiya ase skuru ya secondary yekinyaroka ya Sironga.
We have laid the foundation stone for the second phase of the classes that are here. The others that had been completed we have commissioned. In the last, in this year, they admitted 815 girls for Form 1. This is precisely what the government of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has wanted.
Narwa ogochika gochia sabalimu abanene mbamenta tibesa che school fees na goanchera abanda bonsi ase sukuru.
We have not increased fees. We shall not increase fees. What we have not done is to decrease fees even though the time is going to be short. If you attempt to increase fees on your own, it is at your own risk. I think we must serve the people that we are supposed to serve with them. We know that this time is going to be short, and that's the reason why we are asking the teachers to spare all the children.
Nateba eserekali nebegete ange goikirania omoroberio OCBC imeyense ya Kenya.
In terms of preparedness for CBC classrooms, I am glad to say that there are many classrooms, especially in the central region, which are already at the gable stage. I want to warn the contractors who are doing the circuit classrooms that I have noticed some kind of lackluster behavior. They started more than 2 months ago, and some of them have not even reached the lintel. Those classrooms shall be built, and they shall be built when we are still in government.
Asiate bamba vegete obolendi obonene linde kolenda amalemo ya chisukuru.
In the process of titling, we have titled several thousands of titles. As you remember, we have about 10,000 high schools and 30,000 primary schools. I don't think the public should worry. I have said, it's just that I don't have the power. If I had the power, anybody who touches land belonging to a child, that land should be taken immediately and reverted to the child.
nigo akolera etaro yaye asensemo yekerenyo ase aina na chitaito deed cha maremo chisemi nacho ekebungo kirabe gekoleta ogwonchereria asobugima kurwa se skuru ya Sironga High School ginko reporteria Ndizi TV Job Maangi
Chingaki aboroki wabachaka koirana ase chiskuru ase etamu ya kabere korengana ne kalenda ya masomo y'umwaka yoiga nigo imeyumbo cyobosongo anena ase bituo by'ekigari ogo ichorana kwa bago koineki wana boigo ogo keana awe ekigari igento keirera abana bange gotena ase bituo ase gekegetambe oroboti urwa senchira yobekera nundu abaroko bwatiwa no muri keito Josephat Amisi na tigato iwe nara yaya atwariganiretie
katikati bumuchi obosongo onge bwechigari chikonyara kwa bachiko soa ase stage nabigo chinyinge chikonyara kwa chiko soka kurwa ase stage kubatekana no goichora nabantu bange babakori emeremo ase sekte yo basombi ngo banyara ko babagwesokia na goteba buna chigari nigo cyanyare ko bachigokia kubwatikana no mubaro omonge bwabana onyara ko babagwesokia ekero bono banyara ko bakuigura litukolia bolitangani ase etamu ende
Nengo kubeni nyakwara ingwa na jirengani travelers sako osombi kwa lero boboro kuya lakini chigari challenge toko nyora challenge ba wadosi wetu bali gotwa chigari ine challenge bane baikire bande bagira bagusafiri kirasi
maleta kwa mheshimiwa niko korana sasatu asa bitumia lero tobino mogo asa ngenjo yega sigante kona kusungura bani school na na tusumira kwa wangu tinero bande bagotwa bechisu ngoma kuye na kuorganiza mambo mbalimbali. Ndio kwa mexwa kuna yadi chikoli ya private kwa ya.
Nonye nabo abaonjoreria aonigo banyara ko bakuru birengereri byabo ngati banyara ko bagoikirania okokania kwa bugokonie bitabu ko bwatekana no kuborwa kwa enibo anene ase abaibori.
Kwa majina naitwa Krista Belauo, ninaishi daraja 2 hapo nyuma ya daraja 2 secondary. Kwa siku ya leo yenyewe tulikuwa tuna target kama wazazi na wanafunzi wenye wanarudi shule wanunue hizi vitabu zetu na nini, lakini biashara bado iko chini. Kwa ajili bado wazazi wanalia, wanasema hata hawana transport ya kuwafikishia watoto shule. Secondly, kama saa hizi sisi watu wa chini tuko na problem sana. Juu unapata unakuja soko na kitu yako na hii ndio kitu unategemea ununue unga, ununue salad, upeleke mtoto shule na unapata hata ya kurudi kwa nyumba kama unga
bila ungona biashara bwana yako ngakorere mbio pesa nzi andega no kumusika sitwara ila bani chiskuru bwana ko usubiki kawa para ende tonyore chibesa abana bachiri chiskuru.
Naitwa Veronica Chie. Mimi ni mfanyi biashara hapa Kisii na tunafanya kazi hapa stage. Na hapa kwa stage tunategemea kama siku ya leo tunategemea wanafunzi wenye wanaenda shule, tunategemea wazazi wanunue hizi vitu. Na wazazi hawana pesa. Biashara imerudi chini. Na kama sisi wafanyikazi wa Kisii tunateseka kwa sababu hata sisi naye pia ni wazazi na tunakosa hata pesa ya kupeleka watoto shule.
Nonye nabo abanga nigo banyara ko babagwesokia na guchengera litukeli ko bwatekana na obonjoreri bwabo banyara ko babogosoye enibo kubwatekana na abana bakurira na chisukuru banyara ko bakugora ebinto abikonyara ko bikonegwa.
Siku ya leo tu ndio tumeuza kidogo kwa sababu watoto wako, lakini siku zingine hatuuzangi, kutengeneza hata mia inakuwa shida, tunapitia shida sana.
Koteria Ndizi TV kurwe county ya Kisii retena na ngurukwa Josephat Amesi.
Abamenyi korwa se ward ya Kisii Central egotoka se bunge ya Nyaribari chacheme county ya Kisii nigo ritkoria rero besokia na gokorokorobekana askeria bakwemurunganya na gotabuna nigo batamuganetie omo returning officer wekyombekia bochori ne chimbebe IBC aserieta Mark Mango kobwatrana ase obochori obonene bwo mwakoyoiga nabono nigo baganirie kwe wachinga kinyororo eriyo gokorobochori bure obwo murembe oroboti rwa senchira yobwekirani nigo twariganire no muri keito Mildred Momanyi.
buna bogokiana koirari tukogokia serinde siasa nigo egendrete kubwata inse abarwanireria ne kiombe kyobochori ne chimbebe IEBC boigo bonsi nigo bagendrete kweroberia na kweyarigania ekerokeria atigarete amatuko emerongevere na 5 na bere oka ekaunti ya Kisii neroterati magega ensemo y'abamenyi korwa eward ya Kisii Central nigo bakora okorobekana goika ase kiombe kyobochori ne chimbebe IEBC imeyo mochobo songo asekeria bamukanire oyomo wa returning officer aserieta Mark Gikaro Manko
Mr. Mark Gikaro Manko mbona alitolewa Nyaribari kwa sababu acha nilia mbali vile wengine kupigana kwenye siasa. Acha ende mbali kwenye siasa. Yes. Mark hata kiro kurusuka simenta rusiku Nyaribari chata karetwa mtwaronga yarusuka kwa transfer aenda na ngochi sio ati yego to chanta litira nyare kwa kachitura nogoro kolonyo yo mukong
korengana na barabo nigo Mark arusigwa asensemo ya Nyaribari masaba gocha asensemo ya Nyaribari chache engane yo ekororekana gotwara obotutukanu
egento ndanyare go kwanera na aru Nyaribari ono birengere bibia ye bire ngokorra abwate keini yo gotakobera aro muntu UDL ate tego tema ba kituranga babangete bachipuro morai chipura oyo morai ndatebore simbarati
yinko reporteria egetaseni kya Ndizi TV elietaliane Mildred Momanyi
Muyamano omurikeito Mildred Momanyi ase oroboti ororikiranu omochengo nigo bwata ase chera y'abasubati ya Kisii chingaki omoterio yomo kurwa sorogongo rwa Gusii oyo manyikaine buna makbamba abakagosanga endagera ya mubasona basibwa ase echereyo achingaki arenge gochengera omoyega bweritko ryo kwiborwa kwaye murikeito Sara Nyarangi ontita nabagawikirana ase nsemeyo na gotwariganiria oroboti rwa bene
Kero monto na bwate tariki neri tuko aiboretwe eliago chengera kero mwaka asobogima bwaye. Amateri Robert Orangi umanyaganete mono buna makbamba niga chengera lituko lya elioko iborwa asenchera ya bene kigima abwa sasangana kubagokia abasibwa kurwechera ya basubati ya Kisii prison asabasubati abwo bagokia amanabo bisa abwa sebanyora matera maya amansu yabana muziki au abo bareganirwa na makbamba
Asante sana. Leo tumekuja kujibamba
nigo abasubati abo baumerana n'abateri bande abo batenga nakogokana barabwo asomoyogoyo gati yabo no moteri Speedix oyo bagokia mono nabo igo omoteri PUBG amo nabanda bange Kisii Dancers Academy boigo mbatigire magega asibaorokia ebyegwa byabo chingaki chendagira ya mabaso gose lunch kera omusubati nigo aragera na kuigota asaboiga bobisa nabageni bonsi barenge asomayegoyo baragera na kuigota asomayegoyo gati ya baria baikirana mbagokera egekorekyo ase makubamba ainyora abasibwa abo na kubairera endagera ya mubaso ase boigo banacha ekeki
makubamba muyamono ase okuinyora abafungwa kina kyekyo kono batari basani bange babukibayinyora abafungwa lakini makubamba kolera ya soko bayinyora
como te byongera sana n'abantu bari tiyabarorero ino notro ekisiprisoniga engira rero abamitoga kuna bagora abari yako msultan ekegera mone ngitoro ekikya kunina ki abantu ambari kucha bayinyura ngikiye lakini happy birthday makubamba
naorokia omugoko yakigima ase aba basubati abo omoyo nakubaganiria amaya chinga kibagenderete koba ase chera omoelioye omobisa kurwa sensemeyo manyakanete buna kaka na kirabagani ngambi ya mono ase okubaletera na gusanga n'abasubati abo kurwa sechera ya Kisi prison.
Mbaya tuambia ni rehabilitation time kidogo utakuwa sawa, utarudi nyumbani, tutaendelea kushiriki pamoja. Mungu awabariki sana, ninawapenda zaidi.
Na hawa warembo ama wale ambao tunakaa na wao, vile ulikuwa umesema walipatikana tu kwa mkono mbaya wa sheria, lakini tunakaa na wao vizuri. I think hata nyinyi mmeshuhudia vile mmesema ya kwamba sisi hapa tunakaa tu kufanya what we call rehabilitation.
Chisa maniso, omo science. Abachukuru, murate bagaidi. Abachukuru, murate bagaidi.
Namo bakomonene ase abasubati kurwase cherene ya Kisi women aida busungo banyariko bagusanga na kolia na kumwa kwetera ase modeli makubamba banyariko bakamuchengera litule lyo kuiboba aiga ase prison y'abasubati aiga busungo ripoti ya Ndizi TV eliyataliane Sara Nyarangi on Twitter.
Omukonyi bw'omurundi egari ya Malboro eyegokora obosombi bwa matatu ase ensemo ya Kisi Nyamira sereta Geoffrey Momanyi nigarereire obwene bwaye asikira goteba buna egari yabo nigo yasaganetwe aburitkuria igoromogoroba ase omuchio Nyamira achinga kichie campaign yoyo koriekero kyo bugavana se county ya Nyamira Ben Momanyi na onyana bo nigo twatema kumwikera omuriki bw'omurwaniriro yo aserieta abugamakori oyo bagakana mamochayo na otabna burit kuregoroti bakoreti chi campaign awase oroboti ko batkana nega korekyo rwariki wasegeta seni kyabanyanyimbo ye sub county ya Nyamira South.
Tanguru ku Geoffrey Momanyi ndene conductor ya Malboro. Igoro yanenge kitu saa moja iga na nusu twabangire kuri stage ya tokwenda kusungu kali Barcelona mate omira naba muraba Ben Momanyi mukastoma agatutenenia nga sibate nine abamuraba Ben Momanyi tukamubogoli ngonya goita bale ngo murebi ketororo murebi yo mungire getakabori kurwera linenga kingi mukubori omurebi yo ataruchi kende tukasuka kurwabo tukayara suka mutu tukabogoli omugeni onde gitwa tenire kubogoli omugeni onde iga bagacha bakatu block bakatubori ngimo guturamira kabagori yango barama bakateba mu aturamira bagachaka guturwani baga montra bagaika kabori ngaki ishida kiyaba kera montra boyo aika bakamubuata bakasoka kumuita chindo akaminjuria gake garime no itwarenge nera next nera aka kuchindo akatamanje ngatarire chuma ye gari lakini batubroga tibado nalio montere boyo pika po tenga china moto na tuito mundo Ben Momanyi ako akana kuati shida ende go oyuntu montere batima tingi atumigete kongaka serizo wana bagatukanyirira para ngatosoke kurwira kururisa bume toche para ntuche tikosoka tugaite njire ngao tukaira na gocha police polisi tukarike obi tukaripoti enda wakatutuma uzinyagitari tukaenda nyagitari nachite nkarikirwa marioga yunagura irinde nalete rubono mambi lakini wono nikitumia ni kama inisaidii.
Umurai wense ya Kenya mosike urumwiga Kenyatta ni gararire buna serikali yense ya Kenya ni chikobeka umuroberio bokorwa megeria sensemo yobobundi wechigari chia aina au ainiga yakwa nachinga kiacha kyo umuroberio yo aseboigo abaga kwena na egari aina ya Euro 4L200 pickup ase enseme yo ya enyumba yobra ya State House imemucho Nairobi.
After 3 years we have increased production at AVA from 2,000 units to 7,500 units. All this shows that as the private sector needs things, and if your government does support it, we can work closely together and we can achieve things as a country and as an industry and move from leaps to bounds.
My commitment that we shall continue to work together to reach the targets that we envisioned way back there in 2019, and our determination to ensure that future governments also continue with the same policy, because this is not only good for increasing the manufacturing capacity of the country, but also good in terms of skills transfer, in terms of creating jobs for our people, in terms of creating new opportunities, as Mr. Popat has said, in terms of local content and how we can get various local content providers who used to be quite big, and unfortunately because of the collapse of the motor vehicle industry, they also collapsed. You know, we had all these people who were out there making brake pads, we had people making windscreens, we had people making suspensions and shock absorbers and all of these things. And it is my hope that as we continue to increase, as you've exactly said, the number of vehicles assembled, we will also have the backward linkages that would also enable some of these other industries that were a critical cog to local assembly revived and restored and brought back into play.
Omokonyi boyo kwirurukia ebendera yekirugo kyoburayo bonene bwense wetrase obomobwa Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Martha Karua nigalire ira yogo chiakurwa bokoreri borobu yabuno mokonyi bwo murai bwense chinga kibaraiwe libagari okora ense ya Kenya eniga yakwana emyomucho Nairobi chinga kyabaga kumirana nabangina korwa sekyombe yokwegerera obwene bwabasubati aseboigo abangina bo baba kulira yogo chiakubwatsi ya Karua na Odinga kwene kyabunangore tabaru burayo borobu ya imeyense ya Kenya. Roboti yorwa senchera yo wikiranu nigo twariganire no muri kyeto Vincent Onyancha.
Nekyombe gyokogerera abasubati abomerana se county ya Nairobi. Niga basubati obairo koboko kubwatana kwayo murebwe kyama kya ODM Raila Amolo Odinga na Martha Karua asabamentire buna eyenentunde ntanganya musubati ko wali bagasoburai nakoganya basubati wesoke na gwakera chikura omo bwa Azimio One Kenya.
Let us bring all women on board to make sure we deliver our next deputy president and our future president of the Republic of Kenya.
Martha Karua, if you know the prayers that are being said for you today in Kenya, you would be flattered.
But I would pledge today, Martha, to gather as many of my intelligent, influential, deeply committed, vanilla-colored sisters to vote for you.
There is no sleep. There is no wasting time. We will tell you many stories when we have the seat on the 9th of August.
Abaswati abo bakora wono moseneto bene Beti Mugo gati yabande bakwana kurase county ya Nairobi ni gwa motogirira Odinga asoko mochoro muswati Martha Karua buna omokonyo ye
is the one who seconded the affirmative action motion which I moved, so he was strong enough to support us then. So let us support this team fully.
She has every right to be celebrated by all of us who are here.
Let me thank Raila Odinga
for choosing Karua. Because men, they are very afraid of strong women. Mother Karua is not a flower girl.
Wikirana somo yigo musubati Martha Karua ni gate abuna nare no kwege na Azimio One Kenya nere gochikoiro boraya sobo choli bole bosio boigere buno musubati ngakeyemo na chikoba omurai bwense.
Nomination for the deputy is by a leading candidate. We can almost feel it. We can almost touch it. That's where the excitement is. I keep praying that in this one, I am going to be a good deputy. Not a co-president, a deputy. And if it's God's will, the day of presidency will come. Hata hii siku iona, ilinikuta tu nikikatalia Kirinyaga.
Karua bono babulia basubati gotumeka matukatigaire 22 kotare nyumba ase nyumba kumuligeria Raila Amolo Odinga chikura anena sobo chorio bonene bole bosio. Ko reporter ya Ndizi TV eritena nkuru kwa Vincent Onyanchi.
Ekihombe getaria ge serikali gekurigereria obwene bwa mwanyabanto kia Amnesty International nigo kia bwato kiroroboti igoro yobwene bwa mwanyabanto ase serikali ya Jubilee inse yoburai bwayo murai bwense ya Kenya umuske urumwiga Kenyatta kurengana nabo bwatani korwa ase ekihombe kyo nigo obwene bwa mwanyabanto bwabeire bokororokana ase nonya nabo bamuchiri umuske uru Kenyatta ase uko bataikiranira chira au chira bete gakubariera abananchi chinga kiechboigo nigo baborira serikali era abisi akaroba chori obonene burabe bogokoreka kwene kiabuna nkorigereria bale mono obwene bwa mwanyabantu.
It is also a baseline for the next government to raise the standard of human rights realizations for all Kenyans. We are talking both civic political rights and economic social cultural rights. When it comes to health, COVID taught us quite a bit. One, about the gaps we have in our health industry, the limited equipment, spaces, beds we have. People died in Kenya just because there was no bed space. And that's really sad, looking at the amount of money being siphoned out, looking at the cancer billionaires that came across, and yet people died. We cannot be forgiven as a country. We have to try and bridge some of these gaps. When you look around COVID, poverty was criminalized.
Abananchi nigo baboriwe gochora barayi babwate chimbwa chingiya no bigo bali aberwete gocha gokorera omwananchi emirimo okwana chinga kyo musangirekano bwo kurwanyo bwo kurumi imeyorogongorwa Africa nigo munyakero go byekyombe yo kurwanyo bwo kurumi EACC Elwedwa Bukala aberega kuboria abakenya gotanchirana na makikorwa sabana siasa igenda atayiro nigo kera irere abananchi gochora abana siasa gose abarayi batari abaya abo batachiye koreta magendro imense ya Kenya.
If we become individuals of integrity, certainly we shall elect people of integrity and do not fear or compromise transparency and accountability.
If we have laws that will ensure that access and control of resources is out of the hands of one individual or a group of individuals, but will be anchored on law, that no part of Kenya is going to be left behind, we shall have a beautiful country. Let us elect leaders who are not warmongers, who will not incite, who will not mobilize according to tribal lines, who will not show us the way of violence as a means to assess power, but by articulating a vision and are driven by vision, and let us judge them from the vision they present.
Omancho murigerirwa ikiraigana ngo korera amaye yense ya masenchira ere yo bwikiranu korende na mankengu ariganiretie ayora chikonyorana nda senchira ere nkiranu ekero chirarage chinsa isato yendra gutwara oburigereri borobya ime ya Ndizi TV nabo bwansu bo mugusi ekero igongo kwenyoria buna nabo kwendra gutobwati asense media ya YouTube wetera Ndizi TV News aso mutandao Twitter ni gora tonyore wetera @Ndizi TV News nabo igogo torikera ujumbenge wetera se namba erase screen ya ogagu kukaneria oburigereri borobya Evetariane Evelyn Osero.